So in this question, what we are looking for is we are trying to figure out how big one particular angle in a polygon is. So looking at this polygon, I need to first determine how many sides there are or how many vertices, what kind of polygon are we dealing with. So I'm going to count the vertices. I see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 different vertices on this shape. I find it easier to put some sort of marking because sometimes, especially if you have a really big shape, sometimes it's a little bit tough to remember where you started from. So this one I have a total of 6 sides. So 6 sides tells me that this shape is actually a hexagon. We do know that any shape that has 6 sides is called a hexagon. So the first step that we have to do in order to be able to figure out how big is just this angle, how big is angle X, we are going to use our formula that determines what the sum of the interior angles of our polygon needs to be. So our formula that we use to figure out what the sum of the interior angles is the quantity n minus 2 times 180, where n is the number of sides that our shape has. So a hexagon has 6 sides, so I'm going to replace the n with 6 in the formula, and then I'm going to do a calculation to figure out how many or what the sum of the interior angles would have to be. So 6 minus 2 gives me 4. And then I'm going to use my calculator and do 4 times 180, and I find that the sum of the interior angles is 720 degrees. So that means all 6 of these angles added together need to add up to 720 degrees. So now I need to find just this one missing angle. So I'm going to go ahead and set up an equation for this. And so the equation that I'm going to use is I'm going to add together all of the angles that I was given. So I see that I had a 90-degree angle. This one's always a trick that a lot of times on a problem, they put this box here and they don't tell you how big that angle is, but they do put the box, and we need to know that that box means that's a 90-degree angle. So I'm going to take 90 plus 124 plus 150 plus 93 plus 130 plus x, and I'm going to add those all together and set them equal to 720, what I know the sum of the angles needs to be. My next step is I'm going to add together all of the, combining my like terms, adding together all the angles I know. So adding those together, I come up with 587. I used a calculator for that. 587 plus x, my one unknown angle, is equal to 720. And so my final step is to solve this equation by subtracting 587 from both sides. And when I do that, 720 minus 587 gives me that x has to be 133 degrees. So the missing angle here is 133 degrees.